Hey, peaceful weekend investors. In this video, I'm going to cover a stock which is listed in India market, which is called Sanghvi Movers. I covered this stock in detail with techno funda analysis, completely technical and fundamental analysis 10 months ago on this channel. And I'm going to cover an updated chart and also discuss why this stock is giving an opportunity for trading purposes, because I don't think so this stock should be considered for long term investing, at least from the historical cycle of that particular stock. So we're going to go into right in deep and technical analysis and to some extent fundamental analysis. So stay till the end and I'll share what exactly will be the strategy. Again, just want to clearly have the disclaimer which you have read it in beginning. I'm just trying to give a general information here. It should not be considered as a personal advice. Please do consider your financial advisor for making any decision. So this particular video, which I posted around 10 months ago, specifically around this particular stock, Sanghvi Movers, I covered quite much in detail. And today I want to cover some extent of this stock. So I will not, I will leave the link of this video below so you can watch that fully. Let's start with the monthly chart. And that's where you're going to see mostly some interesting stuff here. So this is the monthly chart. So please make a note when I'm recording this video. It's November 12th of 2022. So please make a note of it. So this is a monthly chart. And what is important here is I've drawn some resistance lines and some kind of channels so you can get a better understanding of a bigger picture. So always I like to see helicopter view before jumping in to the details, right? Because that is where you first get a bigger perspective. Now, I prefer starting straight away with monthly chart because that's where I get to know. So first thing first, what do I get out of this stock when I look at this monthly chart? This is just looking at it. I know that it is in cycle, so it is a cyclical stock. It is absolutely not a growth stock. It is absolutely not a stock which you can, buy it, forget it, and shut it kind of stock, which you have to completely monitor. But what is important and interesting is, as those who follow peaceful weekend investing, is that it does give you an opportunity of making quick capital growth on your portfolio, especially those portfolio which is kind of where you can take a slightly more extended risk. And here you can see here this stock gave you almost huge growth. Then again this stock again is in the another growth cycle we're seeing here, and then you got another growth. So you have to know when to buy, when to exit, and how much to buy. And those who enjoyed this rally have not exited on the top would have given up all the gains here and come back to square one. So you have to consider this stock from that light. So now this stock, as you can see, coming back to the analysis here, so there was a clear support here. As you can see here, it touched a double bottom here, so it is kind of taking a support. So absolute 35 rupees is cyclical low for this particular stock. Now this stock was in a trend, and after that it went in downtrend. So it went into a downtrend, touched 35, close to 35, went up again to close to almost 200 or 200, and then gave up all the gains. So but and next time again it went into this channel and corrected a bit, but after that it gave you almost 155% return from straight from the 160 to almost 400. So it's almost give 155% return before giving up all the gains. Now again from the same low it is gone again to 265. Now what is interesting here is slightly different here, because again the as you must be following, there's a talk about that capital cycle is getting revived in India, and it is listed in India and India Stock Exchange, both New Delhi Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange. And you can see what encouraging is the volume. Again, this is a monthly chart, so you can see there's a huge volume spikes which is happening. So there's a footprint of some big investors getting into this stock. And again it is right now coming to close to a monthly resistance line. And It has to see whether this particular stock can convincingly close above this resistance line and move up, and at least first target, which is 407. Again, I'm not giving you any kind of buy and sell recommendation here. I'm just giving you the analysis, what's going on here, and on the fact basis. And you can see here the stock is completely touching this channel, and drawing this line also has to have some relevance, and how you just don't want to draw. So you can see I've taken the both the peaks, and these peaks are based on certain calculation you pick up and draw those lines and see where we are. Stock has already given 5x return from the low. As you can see, it's given 549% return so far in just a matter of 2 years. So this is how, if you follow a certain process, you can benefit from it. Now, let me take you through some of the close up or the weekly chart. Now, what you see on the weekly chart here, this is a weekly chart. And again, weekly chart gives you what exactly the trend looks like. Now, here you can see here, it is kind of nice, kind of wave pattern here, kind of a VC pattern. And what is interesting here is the closing of this week has been solid, almost Marubozu candle. What is increasing, there's a volume also associated with it. And there, as you can see, this is a weekly candle, you can get a better clarity. And every time it is falling with a less volume. Every time it's going up, it's going up with heavy volume. So it looks to be some kind of a smart investor or informed investor getting into it. But stock has already gone up from 35 or low of 35 or 40 to where it is at 265. And it's going to be interesting to see whether it can, close above this and continue moving up. So hopefully this gives you some context of what I'm talking about. um, Again, clear disclaimer, I have not invested. I was an investor in it, I've exited, and now I'm looking for opportunity to enter again, but clearly more on the trading position. And I'm not at all recommending to. And if you're liking the content, I would request you to, hit the notification bell, subscribe the channel if you're new to my channel, because I keep coming up with a lot of videos around investing to make your investing process simpler and improve your investing journey. It was a recent investor presentation which has come in. So they have shown some profit, which is total turnover was around 224 crores, and profit after tax was 43.38. Capex, so they have done some Capex because they're into cranes business, and so they're one of the leaders in the cranes. So you can see here, you can go to the website and see what exactly they engage in. So they're one of the leaders. I will not go through the detail about the business model because I've covered that in my previous video. So, but they are. What is important here is that they were initially more focused on wind, and that's where they're trying to diversify, and I'll show you in a minute. What is also important, and the antithesis for this, is they have a debt. They have to invest on cranes, so they have the debt of 255 crores, and the average cost of borrowing is 8.57%, and I'm expecting that it might be going up as the interest cycle is up in upward trend. This slide is important because this tells you exactly where they are spent. So what is important, initially when I started following this stock, they were almost 100% or close to. They were mainly focused on windmill side of it. That's where the Suzlons of the world, when it was going up, so they were focusing on that. But slowly over a period of time, they started, moving into different sectors and having those cranes for different sectors like power sector, refinery, steel, cement, other industries. So that is what the story is about, this change in the business model. And they have a specific order book. As you can see, there are 394 crores of order book. So the market cap is almost 1,150 crores. Current price is 266. ROE is not that great. Again, ROC is also below par. So this is definitely, as I said, this stock doesn't fit into a long-term investing strategy. And what is important here to look at the shareholding pattern. And as you can see here in the shareholding pattern, so the promoters are consistent 47.25, but there are, what is also DIs have slightly increased the position, but DIs have all For the period where there was no growth, the DIs are completely exited almost. So there's a slight increase this time by Equitas equity scheme has invested in this company, but not not to the level where you can say that there is quite a bit of institutional buying or DI buying happening at this moment. But what is important is FIs also have increased the position to 1%, and as you can see, they while the DIs were getting out, so you can see the public holding was going up. Getting a uninformed decision, and they're taking position stocks which they should not be. And now you can see the stock is going out of retail investors and going back to the DIs and FIs. So that is something to note, but we'll have to keep a watch on this stock and how it goes. And the price action is important here. This is a quick video I wanted to share. And if you have any comments on this video, do put a comment in the comment box below, so I at least get informed whether you got any value out of this video. Till the next video, I will say goodbye to you. My name is Shivendra Bhatia, and have a peaceful week in investing. Bye bye.